Hello everyone. Good rising, good rising, good rising to all of us. Welcome to Having Hard Conversations, Loving Parents and Their Precious Children. This session is going to be another awakening experience for all of us, and it's going to be really exciting because parents are going to meet themselves as a parent, to meet themselves as an individual, and even to meet and visit their own parents, their childhood experiences. And children, you will be visiting your parents' childhood experiences. Okay, so welcome to Having Hard Conversations, Loving Parents and Their Precious Children. Now parents, remember this: your parents did to you based on who they are and the information they have in the time. It ain't personal at all. Children and adolescents, remember this: your parents did to you based on who they are deep within and the information they have in the time. It ain't personal at all. My intention is to nurture this parental-child relationship and rebuild the connection. Okay, we all love our parents. I love my parents too, and this is the right time and the opportunity where we reflect on what the things that have gone wrong, maybe unconsciously, and what are the things that we can do now to rebuild the relationship and send our love and blessings to the most important people of our lives, God's gifts, parents, and for their parents it is their children. Okay, so I invite all of you to stay tuned. Now let's get started. So first, mother is a very important figure in anyone's life, right? I call my mother as God's grace. I have saved even her contact in my phone as God's grace because I believe so. So children, listen, your mother is the heartbeat of yours, because her heartbeat was the first sound you listened when you were in her womb. So your mother is the is the heartbeat of the child. Now here is for mother. Please listen carefully. A mother is the children's first teacher. A mother is the children's first teacher. How a woman sees herself, thinks about herself, cares for herself mentally, emotionally and physically when the child was in her womb sends direct messages to her child. How she thinks about herself sends a vibrational energy to the child. However she conducts herself in whatever ways that is directly sending messages into the fabric of her children. And remember, mothers, before a woman became a mother, she had her own patterns and pathologies to deal with. She had her own life's purpose to fulfill. She had her own desires, needs and wishes to fulfill. And most importantly, she had her own lessons to learn and overcome. Children needs mother's attention, approval, and most importantly, her presence. So as a mother, and first as an individual, you had to do a lot of deep inner work. Okay, so you can be fully present for your child now, in a right sense, in your 100% consciousness. Now this is for fathers. Fathers, get to know your own father, yeah? Because that's how you are demonstrating and expressing all of your emotions. So get to know your father and then do the deep inner work. First, I have some questions for all the parents that will help you to reflect on your unconscious patterns of parenting. Okay? What kind of beliefs you have been implanting in your child's internal landscape? Now, children and adolescents, I want you to stay tuned because then you can reflect on your own thinking patterns. No need to blame anyone or criticize anyone for anything. Love your parents and be grateful, and the work begins when you start knowing who you are deep down, so that you can understand yourself. And once you start understanding yourself, then I don't think you will ever have the need to change anyone other than you. Okay, so question your own patterns as a child, as an adolescent. Question your own belief system, and then ask for your parents' help. Parents are always there for their children. So parents, what kind of thoughts you have been implanting in your child's internal landscape? Ask yourself, am I fully present with my child? Am I really 100% listening to my child, or I'm just running like a mice on a treadmill because I have a daily routine to meet? Am I inviting my child into my life? Am I being really present? Or am I just filling my child's life with all rich stimulus? Children and adolescents, ask this same question to yourself. Am I being fully present for my parent, or I'm just too occupied on Instagram or making TikTok videos or whatsoever? I don't use social media. So are you fully present with your mother? Are you fully present with your father? Are you really listening to them, or your own ego is just coming up to defend them or to attack them unconsciously? So ask these questions to yourself. And parents, do you compare your child with other? Adolescents, do you compare yourselves with others? Parents, never ever throw your expectations on your child. Parents have this tendency, even as a human, to be so much identified in their roles that all they see is that I have to function because I am assigned with this role. So as a parent, you always have this many times internal conflict going on, that okay, as a parent I should not do this to my child. As a parent I should be doing this to my child. As a parent I have to think and behave in this way. You are so much involved in a parental role that you have just forgotten yourself as an individual, and this isn't a good thing, because the more you are to yourself, more you are in connection with yourself, the same authenticity you are modeling to your child. So it's very important to know yourself, and don't just identify yourself with the role, because then you become a bad parent in your child's eye. Okay, not all the time, but sometimes, because you think that you have a lot of experiences and you are bigger than your child, which is true. But that does not make your child not equal to you. Parents, remember this. Your children came through you, but they are not yours. They have their own identity. When they were younger, you knew 100% based on your experiences as a child of your parent, or whatever learnings you have had as an individual. But when they were young, as they are growing, they have to know who they are. They have becoming they have their own separate identity. They have their own purpose to realize and then contribute in the world. Okay, just like you, they are separate individuals. So both the parties need to understand themselves so that they can share the completeness, love, and build and rebuild the bond and connection. Be very authentic. That's very important. Now I would like to reflect on some statements that as a parent you may have thought unconsciously. So see if you can relate yourself with this. You may think for your child at a surface level that I know what is good for you. I'm your mother. I know what is best for you. I'm your father. But reflect on these statements. I want you to achieve what I never achieved. I want you to achieve what I never achieved. Don't disappoint me. I sacrificed so much for you. My disapproval is my intention to make you feel so bad or guilty that eventually you agree with my terms and conditions or expectations. I know what is best for you, and as long as you are agreeing with my expectations, I will love you unconditionally. I'm not making anyone bad over here, okay? These are just the unconscious patterns of parenting that could have been there based on your experience as a child of your parent. Therefore, I say that this session is going to help all of us to understand ourselves, our parents, and visit their childhood and even your childhood, okay? So reflect on these questions. Fine. So this awareness will help us to change in a very authentic way. Next thing I would like to talk about self-confidence. This is especially for the parents of children aged 4 to 11 years. Now, a child is not born with a sense of awareness. Everyone stay tuned. This is for all of us. See how you can relate yourself and take important information. A child is not born with a sense of awareness. A child learns through observation, okay? The experiences, the modeling behaviors that their parents show. So it is very important the kind of self-image you are creating for your child. Now, if the immediate circle of friends and family is happy, relaxed, outgoing, then a child develops a good sense of self-esteem and a good self-image. But if that immediate environment was tense, critical, negative, abusive, then a child has poor esteem and poor self-image. We tend to have our belief system formed in the very early years of our life. 0 to 5 or 7 years, we develop our belief system. So we have this beliefs, the thoughts about ourselves, about others and the world. So what kind of experiences you have created as a parent for your child, based on that they have developed their sense of self about themselves, about others and about the world. Now the thing is that we cannot change the belief system that were formed in the early years. They are like the roots of the tree, but we can modify it. So in the exercise part you will be able to understand what you can do. The next thing is parents, notice your child's progress, no matter how little it is. You may feel that these are the simple things, but if you get really conscious and pay attention on yourself and your behavior, you will understand that when you are meeting the demands of the life and meeting the demands of your role as a mother, as a father, as a son, as a daughter-in-law, or the place where you are working, it becomes really difficult to be this conscious and this present. But this is a good time to reflect on these things and just make a good change out of awareness, okay? So don't just notice when your child is making mistakes, because then you are reinforcing child's inner critic. We all have that, but it is up to us how we shut that inner critic. So self-talk sessions, like I have mentioned in my earlier videos, this is very important. So notice your child's progress, so they start seeing their own progress. See, when as a human, this is really good, when something good happens to us, we tend to forget it very soon. A compliment given by someone, we easily undervalue. Oh, it's not that. Oh, it's fine. Maybe the day was lucky, or something like that. But if any judgment is passed or criticism is there, or any negative experience is there, then we tend to repeat it like, oh my God, so many times, and so difficult to shut this critic. So it's so important that you accept and approve your child's progress, because that's what you are modeling, and that's what they will be modeling for themselves as well. Okay. And yeah, so don't and parents, please don't have unrealistic expectations for your child. If your child is having poor self-belief, then they will engage in lot of behavioral problems. You may not realize, as a psychologist, I have seen that what kind of emotional issues a child have. A child is hurt. At a behavioral level, they show anger, bullying, stealing, cheating, hyperactive tendencies are there. For that, other reasons are there, but bullying, stealing, aggressive, dominating child, the root is that they are emotionally damaged. That emotional, they don't have this access to the emotional awareness. I'll take a session on this separately, but these are all the result of poor self-image, and a child's healthy self-image is really important, because that's how they are going to fulfill their potentials. Okay, so visit yourself. Okay, know who you are, be very honest and authentic, and reflect on all the information and the questions that I have shared, and visit your own childhood, your parents' childhood, and see what information you can find out. Then you can question your own faulty belief that okay, this is where it is coming from, and see if you are unconsciously throwing your expectations, your faulty beliefs on your child. And now we'll begin with the exercise part. This is for all the children and adolescents and young adults. You may add your own creativity into this. So first is the breathing exercise. It's very important. This will help you to stay focused, improve your concentration power, and be very attentive. So when you're doing one task, you are just focused into that, right? So breathing exercise, 2-4 breaths. Inhale on the count of 2, and slow complete exhale on the count of 4. Next is 2-4-7 breaths. So inhale on the count of 2, hold your breath for 4 seconds, and then slow complete exhale on the count of 7. Next is balancing brain activity. Remember, we did in the earlier sessions, and I want you to subscribe to this channel called Cosmic Kids, because there the person is taking all a yoga and exercises session in a very joyful manner. She tells the stories, of course, in English language, and it's very fun, and it will keep your child engaged productively. At the same time, they will learn a lot of yogas and exercises that will help them overall. So check this channel, Cosmic Kids, on YouTube. Second exercise is practice your IMs. First you develop your own IMs, and then teach your child to practice the IMs. If you have doubts, then please see my session 3. I have explained in detail. Third one is journaling. Now journaling, the writing work, as Robin Sharma says, I think, journaling is like meditating on paper. It's so wonderful. So on Pinterest you will find a lot of topics for yourself and for your child. Just write down self-journaling prompts, and will come up with a lot of questions. This will improve your child thinking ability, analyzing skills, and comprehension skills, because they will start creativity, and they will come up with their own ideas and thoughts. So this is very important. Do the journaling work, teach them gratitude, give them their own journal or diary where they can do the journaling work, where they can have their gratitude list. Okay. Then next is value checklist. This is really important. All of us are having a good family time, and after the lockdown, all of us are going to remember this time. There is no time in the day where you can just feel separate. We feel right now we all are feeling so much loved and connected with our family. Now values are really, really important, because that's what makes who you are. That is what you are creating for yourself and for the world. It is developing your character in a healthy, appropriate way, because whatever your values are like determines your life, because that's how you are going to function. If you value, let's say, integrity, then that's what you follow. Integrity means doing the right thing even when no one is watching. So this is, parents, teach your children values. Again, you will find a value checklist on Google or on Pinterest. Find out, or you can just think and create it on your own, and then give and then be creative. Let them practice one value a day, or for 2-3 days. Let's say you take up integrity. Explain them what is integrity. Doing the right thing when no one is watching. So this will help them to blame no one, to stop criticizing themselves and others, and they do the right thing. This will give them a sense of appreciation, and they will understand also how they are supposed to function as a individual, at an independent level. So you can practice this way. And you can also make collage making in this. Remember in the second video I shared, just cut out pictures and some statements or liners or words and stick all of them together and make a collage. That will be again a fun activity for all of you. Next is mandala art. So coloring is this mandala art is there for adults, for children. Again, you can find out. This will help this will improve your child's attention and concentration skills, and it's a very, very relaxing activity. Next is bingo game. So this self-care bingo. Here again you can just set your routine of the day, okay, and then the one by one the activity they can do, and that's the bingo is. You can here even include the values list, practicing one value in a day, and then reflecting at the end of the day what all they learned, what was their experience like, and question them. Let them come up with their own experiences, because they must have had a lot of experiences. Next is motor skills activities. So mothers, teach your child to help you out, boys, girls. You can take some rajma and rice in a plate and mix it up. This is for very young children. This will help them to improve their indexing and thumb fine motor skills. So, and then mix rice and rajma, and then tell them to pick up only the rajma. Then tell them to clean the dishes with a towel and organize where the dishes and spoons and bowls are supposed to be. Then teach them to fold their clothes or iron their clothes depending on the age of your child, and give them a lot of interesting and organizing tasks, because I know that a lot of children have this problems with organization skills. They can't even pack their own bag. They are just so messy. Okay, so you can help them with these activities. Then next is, this is my favorite. You can practice time out game. So what you have to do is, I'm sharing a lot of exercises all together, so you can just stop and note it down. In time out exercise, what you will do for adults also, you can just say, like, for in every 2 hours you will just stop for 5 minutes and write down your thoughts, whatever it is there, without any judgment. Just write down all of your thoughts, and after writing that down, implant the new thought, implant your new I ams. Then you can slowly reduce the time from 2 hours to 1 hour, and then make it for 30 or 40 minutes. You can utilize this time, this opportunity, and practice this. This will help you to be very, very mindful of what you are thinking, and consciously you are implanting new thoughts, and you give yourself opportunity. This is a good thing for children, as in they will develop self-control. and this is a good way to teach them discipline also, because if they are doing something, children have this concentration problems sometimes. So if they are doing something and their mind is jumping onto something else, they can just remind themselves very, very gracefully that right now I am doing this thing. Once I finish this thing, I'll think about you later on. They are talking to themselves. They are training their mind, training their thought that right now what I'm doing is important for me, so I can think about my playtime or TV time afterwards. So practice time out. It's a good exercise to be very, very attentive about your thoughts, implanting new thoughts, and it's a good exercise for self-control. Then watch good movies together, historical movies like Ramayana. I love that, so I said. And other movies, anything that fun that you can have together. Family must be playing a lot of games together, so you must be doing all of the things, so you can come up with your own thing, but my intention is that you just add more creativity and authenticity into what they are doing and why they are doing it, because this will keep them engaged productively. Next thing is create a family tree. I don't know if you have your nuclear family or joint family, but you can make this family tree where parents, you have to do this for your child. So you are creating pura family hierarchy you can create for your child. Then they will able to know all of the family members, like grandmothers, grandparents, grandfathers, great grandparents, everyone by their name. So you can create a family tree with a lot of other family games. And then this is very important. Well, for emotional part I'll take up another session, but teach your child to take 100% responsibility for their own actions, because when you are doing all of these activities and even they are doing their I ams and self-control activities like time out, this will help them to take 100% responsibility for their own actions. Make sure that you implant this thought in their mind every single day. This will help them to stop blaming and criticizing and just take responsibility for whatever they do. This sounds very simple, but it's not at all simple. As a parent, as an adult, you can first try on yourself and then you can teach your children. You will understand how important it is to take responsibility for your own thoughts and behaviors, because the world can really not trouble you. You are living your life in your mind most of the time, and you are just projecting your own thoughts onto others. This is very deep, but you can just consider this thing to understand why it is important to take 100% responsibility. So teach your child. Then you can plan RAKs, random act of kindness. You can include this in the self-care bingo game along with the values. This will help them to understand how important it is to love and show kindness and compassion. And again, reflecting back to patterns of parenting, authoritarian parenting is very, very important, and it's the right parenting style, because here the children understand that I am individual, I have my own individuality, but my parents are there and I have to follow them at some level, and this is important. This will help your child to understand that they have to respect them, not because they are their parents, but they have to respect them because they are their parents. There is a difference in what I said. First one was in a very defensive, egoic manner, and the second thing is accepting with love and understanding. So this will help them a lot. So parents, know who you are. Visit your parents' childhood, understand them, reflect on your own belief system, and see what all you are creating for your children. Okay, and children and adolescents, try to understand your own parents, your own belief system as well, and all of you be very, very authentic in whatever you do. And so practice what all I said, the first part, the information questions and the exercises, and see you soon. Thank you.